She had the perfect face, perfect body, perfect smile. She had beautiful long blonde hair. She had all the qualities to be the perfect Playboy model. However, someone didn't see her as the perfect model. Someone saw her as their perfect victim. But who would have taken the life of this beautiful model, and in such a gruesome way? Let's find out right now. Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carriacou, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that y'all like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. I hope you have a beverage. I hope you have a snuggle partner or a snuggle fur partner. Those are the best, and you are ready to hear a true crime story with yours truly. And as always, I want to know, are y'all drinking that water? Are y'all staying hydrated? Are y'all getting those tickers up? Remember, just a quick 20-30 minute walk, especially first thing in the morning, get those endorphins up, and you are going to have an amazing, wonderful day, I promise you. And as always, thank you all for joining me on this Wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. And before we go any further, I want to let all of you know that tonight is my 2-year anniversary on YouTube and my 200th video. Can y'all believe I have been on YouTube and TikTok for 2 years making crime videos? I want to thank all of y'all for the love and support, because without you, I couldn't be doing this. So I want to thank all of you for the bottom of my heart, and for you, I am truly grateful. Today, we are going to be discussing a case that happened in California in August of 2009. Today, we are going to be discussing the Jasmine Fior case. Jasmine Fior was born Jasmine Lepore on February 18, 1981 in Bonnie Doon, California, which is near Santa Cruz. Jasmine was a sweet, happy, loving little girl who loved the country lifestyle. She loved riding horses. She loved playing football. She loved all outdoor sports. When Jasmine was only 9 years old, her parents were divorced, leaving her mother, Lisa, to raise Jasmine alone. Jasmine was very ambitious. She wanted bigger and better things out of life. And her favorite person, just like me, was Marilyn Monroe. And Jasmine wanted to live that Marilyn Monroe lifestyle, don't we all? When Jasmine was young, she decided that she wanted to be a swimsuit model. So when she was in her late teens, she decided to move to Las Vegas and become a swimsuit model. She also was a body painted model in Las Vegas, and she did several shows. By the time Jasmine was in her 20s, she was splitting her time between Las Vegas and Hollywood. Jasmine was climbing all the way to the very top. Jasmine also received her real estate license, and she was planning on opening up a gym. Jasmine also got a job with Playboy as a golf girl. Jasmine had the perfect girl next door look. She loved being a part of the Playboy empire. It was also said that Jasmine tried out for a centerfold in Playboy in the early 2000s. However, as we all know, there are only 12 centerfolds a year, so it is very difficult for someone to get a centerfold. But this is what Jasmine wanted, and she did in fact want to be a part of Playboy as long as she could. It was also said that Jasmine got a job as the coordinator for Playboy Golf in Las Vegas. Jasmine met a man named Ryan Alexander Jenkins on March 16, 2009 at a bar. It was said that Ryan asked Jasmine to put in her contact information in his phone, and when he saw that her birthday was February 18th and his birthday was February 8th, he thought to himself, this is it. This is the girl I'm gonna marry. We're soulmates, we're perfect for each other, and I wanna be with her for the rest of my life. So 2 days later, on March 18th, 2009, the two are married in Las Vegas. Yes, they only knew each other for 48 hours and they were married. That is extremely quick, but hey, you know, when you know, you know. Just like my grandparents, they met and they were married exactly 4 weeks later, and they were married for almost 70 years. Can y'all believe that? So some people, when you know, you know. But who was Ryan Jenkins? Ryan Alexander Jenkins was from Canada. He was good looking. He said he was a wealthy guy. And one day in Las Vegas, TV producers noticed him and said to themselves, this would be the perfect guy to cast in our new VH1 reality show, Megan Wants a Millionaire. The show was going to star Megan Hausman, a former Playboy model. As a lot of you may know, Megan Houseman was on Rock of Love. And I remember Rock of Love, y'all. I used to watch that show religiously with Bret Michaels. Let me be your Rock of Love. Y'all remember that show on VH1 back in 2006, 2007, 2008. I don't know when it aired, but I remember that show like it was yesterday because I never missed an episode. And I remember Megan Houseman because she stood out to me as she had these beautiful long legs. She looked like she was about 6 feet tall. She was a gorgeous blonde girl. And Bret Michaels chose her to hang out with him. I remember that. I remember like it was yesterday. Anyway, Megan was also on Charm School with Sharon Osbourne. And Megan is the one that Sharon threw the drink on at the reunion. Megan was talking bad about Ozzy, so Sharon got up and threw a drink on Megan. That was Megan Houseman. And Megan was going to star in this new VH1 reality show, Megan Wants a Millionaire, which consisted of Megan and 17 bachelors. Megan wanted a man and wanted him to be worth at least $1 million. Ryan Jenkins comes in, and Ryan Jenkins has just stars in his eyes. He wants to be a star, and he says that he is worth $2.5 million. It was said he came from a very wealthy family, and he had dreams of stardom, and he wanted to be with Megan Houseman. It was also said that Ryan quickly became a fan favorite. However, it was obvious to Megan that Ryan really didn't have much money. Megan told the producers that she wanted to pick Ryan Jenkins. However, Megan claims that the producers told her, no, this is not the route that we're going. So Megan cut Ryan from the show when there were only 3 men standing. She said that she felt like Ryan was humiliated, and it was also said that his father had flown in for the show. So Ryan got cut not only in front of Megan, in front of the world, and in front of his father. So he was devastated. Quickly after the show, Ryan began emailing and texting and calling Megan, wanting to know, like, what's going on? Like, what happened? I want to know why you didn't choose me. Why did you cut me? Megan couldn't say anything because she was still filming the show. However, Ryan was extremely devastated. 2 days later, Megan says she calls Ryan to explain everything that happened. And that is when Ryan told her, I met the love of my life and I'm married. Megan was shocked because just days before, Ryan was telling her that she was the love of his life and that they were going to get married. In my personal opinion, I believe that Ryan wanted to be with a beautiful blonde Playboy model. And when he couldn't have Megan, he decided to move on quickly to Jasmine. However, Jasmine started to realize that it was very apparent that Ryan didn't have any money. He was always saying, I'm gonna pay you back. Can you pay for the groceries? Can you pay for dinner? Can you pay for this vacation? He never had any money. And Jasmine was getting very aggravated because she worked extremely hard for her money and she was tired of paying for everything. And I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, a woman's gonna put up with that for so long until you have enough. Like, I'm not paying for everything. I'm not gonna be paying for the groceries, the rent, the cars, every time we go on vacation, every time we go out to eat. You gotta pay for something. However, he always had an excuse why he couldn't pay for stuff. His money was here, his money was there, it was tied up in Canada, he couldn't get to it, but he would always promise to pay her back. In April of 2009, a month after Jasmine and Ryan were married, they decided to attend a pool party in Las Vegas where they were both drinking very heavily. And that is when Jasmine started talking and making out with this man. Ryan sees it. Of course, he gets very upset. He is very jealous. It was said he grabbed Jasmine and threw her in the pool, and he was arrested on domestic violence and spent some time in jail for this. Jasmine was extremely upset about the situation and wanted nothing to do with Ryan. It was also said that Ryan cheated on Jasmine, that she walked in and saw him with another girl, and it was just a very toxic relationship. They were both cheating on each other all the time. I don't know their situation, but it sounded like it wasn't a healthy relationship. In July of 2009, Ryan was going to film another reality series called I Love Money Season 3. It was also said that Ryan wanted to win the prize money of $250,000 to give to Jasmine and to win her back. There is also a rumor that Ryan Jenkins did in fact win the $250,000 and was the winner on the show, but who knows? Meanwhile, Jasmine is trying to get the marriage annulled. She wants out of this marriage, and good for her. Ryan has no money. He always has excuses. He doesn't have a job. He's always telling her he's going to do this, this, and that, and he's very abusive toward Jasmine. She doesn't want to be with Ryan anymore. She also decides to dye her hair brown and becomes a brunette. However, no matter what color Jasmine's hair is, she is a beautiful, beautiful woman. On July 27, 2009, Ryan sends an email to Jasmine confessing his love to her. He is becoming more and more and more obsessed with Jasmine. Jasmine decides that she is going to give Ryan another chance, as a lot of us do. A lot of people, they are blind to all the red flags because, as we all know, it takes years, months, decades to get out of abusive relationships. They constantly come back to you. I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. However, they never change. We also see Ryan posting several videos on his MySpace of Jasmine. Jasmine's dancing. She's turning around to the camera. She's smiling. She's happy. She has these sunglasses on. She looks beautiful. Ryan saying, happy wife, happy life. The luckiest man is right here. He points to himself and he says, gosh, I love my wife. Jasmine is a beautiful girl and the couple looks extremely happy. On August 13th, 2009, the couple travels to San Diego to attend a poker tournament. You see the couple arriving around 3 o'clock in the afternoon in San Diego at the hotel. They are seen escorted to their room. 3 hours later, they come out of the room. They're both dressed very nice. They travel to this poker tournament to another hotel in San Diego. They stay there for a couple of hours. However, this is when things take a turn for the worse. While they're at this poker tournament, Jasmine is texting her ex, Robert Hasman, who is a very wealthy real estate developer. He's the guy that has shown Jasmine the finer things in life. She is texting him, come get me, send your plane. I want to leave Ryan. I want nothing to do with him. I want to be with you. I want to be with you in Las Vegas. Come get me. For unknown reasons, Jasmine and Ryan get into an argument at the casino. I don't know if he caught Jasmine texting Robert. He was angry. He was upset, so they got into an argument. I don't know what went down. Around 12:30 a.m., Ryan and Jasmine leave the casino and they attend another casino where there is a club called the Ivy. It was also said that Jasmine and Ryan got into another argument at the club. They left around 2:30 a.m. and Jasmine Fiore is never seen alive again. Around 4:30 a.m., you see Ryan just running in a panic through the lobby to his hotel room and going into his hotel. Witnesses say they heard an argument around this time between two people coming from Ryan and Jasmine's room. Not long after that, you see Ryan exiting the hotel room with the hotel phone. He takes a hotel phone and puts it on like a high piece of furniture in the hall of the hotel. You also see Ryan Jenkins go and get a bucket of ice and coming back to the hotel room with a bucket of ice. Now, why would you leave the hotel room holding the phone? Is it because whoever's in that room, you don't want them to call someone? And why would he need ice at 5 o'clock in the morning? Questions. There are so many questions at this time. What is Ryan Jenkins hiding in that hotel room? A lot of y'all are probably asking the same question I asked. How did Jasmine get back into the room? Because you see Ryan running at 4:30 a.m. through the hotel lobby into the room in a panic. Well, the hotel room they were staying at, they were on the first floor and there was a little patio with access to the parking lot. So in my personal opinion, I believe that Ryan parked his car in the back of this parking lot near their room, near the patio, got Jasmine out of the vehicle, and then when he realized he couldn't get into the room that way, that he had to have his key to the hotel door, like inside of the hotel, he ran in, ran to his hotel room, collected Jasmine, brought her back into the room, and that is when witness said they heard some type of argument. But why couldn't Jasmine walk through the lobby is the big question. Around 6:24 a.m., you see Ryan exiting the hotel room with all kind of contents that look like they would belong in a suitcase, a coat hanger, clothes, his toiletry bag. Why didn't he put all of these things inside of his suitcase? That is the main question. Then around 9:30 a.m., Ryan Jenkins walks out of the hotel. He checks out. He gets into Jasmine's white Mercedes. You never see the luggage again. You never see the luggage and you never see Jasmine. Ryan drives back to Las Vegas. He gets out of his vehicle. He abandoned Jasmine's white Mercedes about a mile, half a mile from his apartment. And that is when he starts texting all of Jasmine's friends. Hey, have you seen Jasmine? Where's Jasmine? I want to know where she is. I hope she's not doing this again. And then he has his phone and Jasmine's phone. And he starts texting the phones back and forth like they're making plans. He's like, hey, what you want for dinner? She's like, I'm in Santa Barbara doing my nails. They just having a regular conversations, but he's the one doing the texting. And get this, y'all. The last text message Jasmine sent to Robert Hasman said, suck it. It was out of character for Jasmine. She wouldn't send something like that. So Robert Hasman believes that Jasmine Fiore did not send that text. Everyone wants to know, where's Jasmine? Jasmine is reported missing. The police want to talk to Ryan. They call Ryan Jenkins. Where's your wife? He tells police, I don't know where she is and I can't really talk to y'all because I'm having some visa issues and I have to get back to Canada. The police knew. Ding, ding, ding. That's a red flag. Your wife is missing and you're worried about getting back to Canada? Why is that? The police go to the hotel where Ryan and Jasmine were staying and they find Jasmine's hair and blood on the back patio. Then Ryan goes to his Las Vegas apartment. He leaves. He goes straight to a storage unit. He grabs his boat, he hitches it to his BMW, and he leaves for Washington. Police believe that Ryan is trying to cross the border to get into Canada where he is from. The Coast Guard spots Ryan in his boat and they tried to catch him. However, they could not catch Ryan Jenkins. They lost him. Ryan Jenkins parks his boat about a half a mile from the border and walks on foot to cross into Canada. And that is where his sister picked him up. He checked into the Thunderbird Hotel. However, Jasmine Fiore is still missing and her white Mercedes is found abandoned and there is blood inside of her car. So police believe something happened inside of this white Mercedes, inside of Jasmine's car. Not long after, someone looking for cans in a dumpster spots a suitcase. The suitcase is unzipped and looks like there is blood coming from the suitcase. The person believes there is a small child inside of the suitcase, calls the police. The police arrived and they find a nude female adult woman with all of her teeth missing as well as her fingers. Police are shocked. Police want to know who would commit such a gruesome, horrible crime. When the body arrived at the coroner's office, it was very difficult for the coroner to identify the body as the body had no teeth and no fingers and the face had been severely beaten. However, while the coroner was performing the autopsy, they realized that the body has breast implants, and on the breast implants there are serial numbers. And when they ran the serial numbers, that is when they found out the body. It was the body of 28-year-old Jasmine Fiore, and male DNA was found on her body. When the cops ran that DNA, they found out it was for Michael Carduzzi, who had just been released from prison. When the police went to interview Michael Carduzzi, they found out he is the former husband of Jasmine Fiore. He told the police that he had just been released from prison and that he had just seen Jasmine days before. The police want to know, did you murder your ex-wife? Are you Jasmine Fiore's killer? He said, absolutely not. And y'all could track my every move because he had an ankle monitor. So police quickly eliminated Michael Carduzzi as a suspect. They believe their killer was Ryan Alexander Jenkins. They were looking everywhere for Ryan. Where was he? Because Ryan came from money. So they were worried, since Ryan's family had their own plane, could he have gone to another country? Could he be hiding somewhere? Did his family know where he was? The search came to an end on August 23rd, 2009, when police arrived at the Thunderbird Hotel where Ryan had last checked in at. They find Ryan Jenkins deceased in his hotel room. He had taken his own life. And the police found his last will and testament in his computer. Ryan Jenkins writes, "I'm sure everyone feels I'm a monster. Let me tell you that Jasmine was in fact a far greater monster than I could ever be. I really wanted to love someone. My heart and love for her was pure and powerful. It drove me and brought out the very best in me. I'm sorry for running away from my responsibility. There's just no place for me in this world anymore. Jasmine was the key to my happiness." This is what police believe happened in the early morning hours of August 14th, 2009. Police believe that some type of altercation happened when the couple left the Ivy Club around 2:30 a.m. on their way back to their hotel in San Diego. Because as I mentioned earlier, there was blood found inside of Jasmine's Mercedes, and it was Jasmine's blood. So police believe that Ryan may have severely beaten her up inside of the car, and when he arrived back at the hotel, he realized he couldn't bring a severely beaten or unconscious woman through the hotel lobby. So he pulled up to the back of the hotel. Then he realized he couldn't access the room through the patio. He had to go inside of the hotel. And that is when surveillance camera sees Ryan running back to the room at 4:30 in the morning in a panic. Police believe that is when he went on the patio. He collected Jasmine, brought her back into the room. Witnesses say they heard some type of argument. And that is when he takes the phone, he brings the phone outside, he goes get ice. And if he takes the phone away, that means someone is alive in that room and he doesn't want them to use the phone. So when he comes back to the room, is there some type of conversation like Ryan saying, "Please, I love you, don't call the cops, don't report me"? And Jasmine is probably saying, like any person would, "Oh no, I'm going to report you. I'm going to call the police." And that is when police believe he took Jasmine's life. Police believe that is when he took off all of her fingers and took out all of her teeth, took her nude body, folded her up in a fetal position, and put her inside of this suitcase and left the hotel. And that suitcase, we see that same suitcase when they're checking in. You see that suitcase. And that is the same suitcase that police found in the dumpster. And inside of this suitcase was the body of Jasmine Fiore. It was the same exact suitcase. Ryan finds this apartment complex. He dumps the suitcase with Jasmine's body inside, and he leaves, goes back to Las Vegas, starts creating an alibi, texting her friends, taking his phone and Jasmine's phone like they're texting each other, tells the police, "I can't speak to y'all, I have to go back to Canada." And he takes his boat, gets in the boat, and tries to flee, ends up in Canada, and takes his own life. Police believe, without a doubt, the killer of Jasmine Fiore is Ryan Alexander Jenkins. Now I want to discuss domestic violence with y'all. As a lot of you may know, I am a victim of domestic violence. I stayed with someone for years. For years. The person beat me up so bad one night, they ended up in jail. So I know what domestic violence is. And I do believe that Jasmine was in a domestic violence relationship and she couldn't get out of it. And it got out of hand. A lot of people, including myself, ignore the red flags, saying, "Oh, I'm not going to end up like, Shanann Watts. I'm not going to end up like Lacey Peterson. Nothing's going to happen to me like that. My boyfriend, my husband would never do that to me." You could be wrong. You could be wrong. And I know that I was wrong because I ignored the red flags for years and years. And you don't want to ignore the red flags because it doesn't get better. It will never get better. People think someone's life is great on social media. They post in pictures, they post in videos. Life is awesome, happy wife, happy life. I'm the luckiest man out there, like Ryan Jenkins was doing. But in reality, he was a monster and could not take the fact that Jasmine Fiore did not want to be with him. And he said to himself, if I can't have you, no one can. So y'all don't believe everything that y'all see on social media. Someone can look very happy, but in reality, they're in a domestic violence relationship. And that is the kind of relationship that Jasmine was in. And I know I have an amazing man, a wonderful man. And I tell my man all the time, he treats me like I'm a flower. He protects me. He's always with me. I always feel safe and secure when I'm with him. I always feel loved. I know that if my man caught me texting another guy, he would be furious. He would be very upset. I mean, I don't even want to know how he would feel, okay? But let me tell y'all something that I do know. I do know that he would not take my life. I know that for a fact because that is not him. He has never put his hands on me. He has never been violent towards me. However, Ryan had served time in jail having a domestic violence issue with Jasmine. And what Jasmine didn't know, he had served time because he had a domestic violence charge with an ex-girlfriend in Canada. So Ryan Alex Jenkins was a very abusive person. My final thought, you know, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, if you are in a domestic violence relationship, get out of it now. Look at all the signs. Even if it happened once, it could happen again. Get out of the relationship before it's too late. You don't want to end up like Jasmine. Jasmine had no clue. She had a whole life ahead of her. All of these men wanted to be with her. However, she was with the wrong guy. She fell in love with the man that took her life. How upsetting and devastating is that? That she didn't realize that this man was so obsessed, so violent, that he lost it. He snapped. And police believe that Ryan Jenkins is the one that took the life of Jasmine Fiore. And it sounded like he actually did admit to it when he put in his last will and testament, I'm sorry for running away from my responsibility. What was his responsibility? In my opinion, he took the life of Jasmine Fiore. My heart, my prayers go up to Jasmine's family. She was a beautiful girl on her way to the top. She had the whole world at her hands. Playboy wanted her. All of these men wanted her. She was traveling back and forth from Las Vegas to LA. She was living a great life, but she picked and fell in love with the wrong guy. Can y'all believe that she lost her life because she was trying to get back with Ryan? She wanted things to work and then realized once she was back with him, this is not going to work. However, she may have felt trapped while she was at this poker tournament. She probably said to herself, I don't love him. I don't want to be with him. I want to be with my ex, or I want to be with this guy. She was trying to figure out what she wanted to do, but she wanted to be out of the relationship. So I want all of y'all to think, say to yourselves, I don't want to end up like Jasmine. I need to get out of this abusive relationship. I hope after this video that y'all like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, stay safe, always be aware of your surroundings, and always know that I'm here for each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all all for the love and support, and for you, I am truly grateful. I will see y'all next week with more Cajun Crime Queen videos. And as always, I love y'all. Good night. Bye.